Hey guys, Jay here. So in this video today, I want to talk a little bit about what I was playing. And so I tried to make Null's Inclination. If you don't know what it is a bow that triggers minion skill on kill, right? So I tried to make it work. I've tried it with Summon Reapers. I have tried it with it's what is it? What is the skill that with inspiration? Absolution. So I've tried with Absolution, I've tried with Skeleton and Dark Pact, I've tried with basically every single possible minion. I also tried it with multiple versions of animate weapon. I have the range one, which is probably one of the best, the normal melee animate weapon, and the worst one is the animate weapon of self-reflection. So I've tried with all these setup, and I kind of think that, well, technically it does work, but unfortunately, the triggers, which is the main strength or the main perks of the bow, actually doesn't do anything. So the bow pretty much gives me 5%, no, actually 1% damage per 5 dexterity, which applies to the character as well as the minion. So yeah, it is just a like glorified way of summoning extra minions pretty much. Or if you want to do some direct damage skill, for example, Absolution or Dark Pact, you can do it semi-automatically with the bow skill, right? So basically it functions like a cast on crit, except it is much worse because it is cast on kill. Well, the painful thing is you need to score the kill with the bow's attack. So it needs to be a bow skill, or it needs to be an attack with the bow, whatever you use. It has to be with the bow. Anything that says kills count as your kill, right? Count as your character kill, including the Ascendancy, would just not work because it does count as your kill. So kill effect like life on kill or things like that will happen, but the cast on kill of the bow does not work. So basically it becomes like a cleanup mechanic pretty much. So well, I spent pretty much all of my currency trying to test it, and well, it just doesn't work, right? So I have to resort back to like the backup plan for this character and farm a little bit more. And this is one of the things that I was farming and I am farming right now. So as you can see, this is a volcanic fissure of snaking, and I am using hollow palm. I think we will probably never have anything better than this in terms of just volcanic fissure of snaking hollow palm. The Ascendancy just gives so much extra damage. If you look at my tooltip number here, you will see it sometimes, yeah, jumped over 1 million. Without any Hunter buff and with all the other buff up, I will probably have around 700, 800k something. With some of the Headhunters buff, I can have like the highest thing that I've seen so far is probably around the ballpark of 2.5 millions. And that is in-game tooltip DPS. If you go and translate that to POE numbers, you should have a much, much bigger number. And that is the highest tooltip I've seen on Volcanic Fissure of Snaking in a Hollow Palm build. Ever. Period. So yeah, maybe I'll just play with this for a while. I will farm up some currency again because without any currency, I cannot really change around. I cannot really buy anything to test. I cannot do anything else. But, well, at least one build failed. We know that another one works. So let me just finish this map and then I will try to show you. So I think all the things that are not dying here are like bubble minions. Yeah, they have the proximity shield. Other than that, pretty much I just stand in the middle with the current setup. I just stand in the middle. I don't even build any tower anywhere. I just literally go in the map, click on the thing, maybe move around a little bit in the circle here to like open the minimap. so we can see a little bit better. And I just stand there and I just spam Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. The first thing we kind of need to do is here I need to cyclone a little bit, because Volcanic Fissure of Snaking is a skill that cannot be used by the sword. So Dancing Dervish, this is a very common tech used by Holopalm Technique players. So Dancing Dervish will give you Rampage. Yeah, you kind of want Rampage. If you just don't want to like Cyclone, just remove it. It is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. There's absolutely no reason that you have to use it. But in map, it feels pretty good. For Rampage, you do have some extra speed. You do have some extra clear with the Rampage. It feels pretty nice. This is a very snowbally build. You can map pretty well with it, as you have quite a lot of speed and you are a Headhunter build. Or I am a Headhunter build. You can be anything, really. I think overall, Headhunter feels really good for mapping. But in the end, probably nothing can beat a good old Mage Blood, right? So yeah, that's what happened, and I just want to keep you guys updated. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope the next time we talk, I'll have something nicer to show. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, so if anyone have any idea or ever tested anything with nose inclination, please let me know. If you have any idea that you either tried out or you just have an idea and you don't want to test it, I can test it for you. So we'll see what it does. Anyway, this is the tier 14 Blight, by the way, Blighted map. In-map Blight is very nice. I can farm Blight very well. I can farm actually quite a lot of things very well. So right here I am having Blight and Alva for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, quick look over on the build. So it is a WoW Speaker, and this is the main strength of the WoW Speaker. So I went for WoW Speaker. I know that the Aristocrats might be very good because it can get a lot of extra dexterity. But also I want to try the WoW Speaker because initially I want to do nose inclination, right? So this node actually gives me a lot of damage. So I'm having only 1.4k dexterity now. I've seen people with like 3k dexterity. So this is baby number, right? I have very bad gear. 1.4k dexterity. So that is 280% increased damage, and that multiplied by 1.5 times, so that is roughly 400. It is 420, I think, 420% increased damage, which is a lot, right? So if you have more dexterity, this node would just get better and better and better. Right now I am going for Tailwind for obvious reason. We really want to be fast. And then I also have, right now I am taking the Aspect of Avian, because Aspect of Avian either give me movement speed, which I really like, or it will give me a chance to deal double damage, which is damage. So we have these nodes here. You can also go for the Aspect of the Cat. Aspect of the Cat will have the critical strike chance. That is completely useless for the build. We are non-crit, so this is a little bit wasted, just a little bit. But the other buff is going to give you attack and cast speed, which is very good. And then once I can have more charges, I think these charges is going to just be better than this route, because we can have a bunch of frenzy charge if we really want to. So this already give +1, and this is another +1, so that is a 5 frenzy charges. And 5 frenzy charges is already 20% more damage and some speed as well. This is a skill tree. I go out this way, take the long route to move around. I do have the Holopalm technique here. Later, I will probably upgrade it to a actual cluster jewel, and I move all the way up here, grab the minion stuff. This is actually very powerful. We have a lot of minion attack speed, so we can use the attack speed here, right? And we move around here, eventually get to the cluster on top of the skill tree, and here I put two split personality. This is very cheap, dexterity and maximum life, so I have a bunch of dexterity and life from both of these jewels. Very nice. And for the rest of the skill tree, by the way, I am only level 78. So for the rest of the skill tree, I will first of all grab all the life nodes nearby that I walked through and didn't get. I will get 1 point here, insanely strong point here, and then I will get some of the life point here, very strong. I will change the Holy Dominion into this is an anoint. I will change it into Veteran's Wrath. This is going to give me rage, and it is 30% more damage. So it's just very good. There's no real good way for me to get this one except for anointing, so I would just anoint it, right? Let me see. I will also try, and from that point, right, I will get this one as well, live. So from that point, I will go 1 point here, and I will get 1, 2, 3. These points are insanely efficient. Insanely efficient. You just have all the attack speed translate to your character. The damage, 10% is 15%. 20% is 30% because it is applied to your character at a 1.5 rate due to the Ascendancy. So that is going to be the plan, and I also will try to upgrade the gear. Oh, by the way, there is a very good piece of gear here. I am having a brutal restraint over here. I sniped this one earlier for the original idea with Null's Inclination. It gives me 5% dexterity, 5% dexterity, 5% dexterity, and last but not least, 5% dexterity. So this is 20% dexterity from this freaking jewel in this slot. I'm not sure if you can find one that is this good, but finding 2 or maybe 3 notes should not be too hard if you know how to do it. And yeah, this section is the same old unnatural instinct. At this point, this is kind of boring, but it's just very efficient, so I just do it. Unnatural instinct and light of meaning. Here is a light of meaning with +2 to all attribute. By the way, if you put brutal restraint to this area, you will see here that you actually gain a lot of dexterity from it, because each of these small points is going to be 4 dexterity. So light of meaning is not the only option here. You can go light of meaning here and the brutal restraint over here, or you can just put the brutal restraint over here. You don't need to use light of meaning. Light of meaning you can either put here or you don't put it anywhere. So it is entirely up to you, right? You can put it here, and this unnatural instinct is just going to give you a lot of dexterity, and each and every single one of these nodes is going to give you 4 dexterity as well, 4 brutal restraint. If that is the case, you can search for 1, 2, 3 nodes, maybe 4 nodes here. You can try to find percent dexterity on some of these nodes in the area, and maybe you'll get something nice. So on the gear, this is insanely basic. This is just a 15% dexterity Black Sun Crest. The corruption is completely useless, pretty much. Garukan's flight is very obvious for decks that use life. We have a lot of life from this. I am using Asher the Star because I am using Volcanic Fissure of Sneaking. The quality is going to give me additional eruption. So I have 2 additional eruption. 2 by the base, 20% from the actual gem quality, which gives me 1, and then another 20%, which is the minimum roll of the Asher the Star, is going to give me another, right? So I have 4 eruption. Why is 4 eruption very good? First of all, it reach very far away. So if you farm things like blight, you can stand in the middle and the last eruption can reach like 2 screens away. Very, very far away. And in single target, an additional eruption can means just more damage. So if you erupt 2 additional times, there are a total of 3 hits. Normally 2 will hit it, right? But if you erupt like total of 5 times, you will on average get 3 hits instead of 2 on a single target. Because if you target something, like for example, if you target something here, it will go away and then it will go back and then it will go away and it will go back. So that is how the skill kind of function. I will also obviously get all the jewel socket, like 1 point here, right? So is there anything else that I want to mention? I think that is all, right? This build actually, also one thing very nice, this build actually is around this cluster. It is 1 point away from this aura cluster. It is on this cluster as well. So I am taking a lot of aura stuff, like soft aura stacking. Right now I can have these much auras on. So I have purity of element, hatred. Both of these are 50%. They are reduced to 31.25%. Very nice. Hero of Ash. So if you have hatred and Hero of Ash, and you have the skill itself converts 60% to fire, cold mastery converts 40% to cold damage. You have a balanced amount of fire and cold damage, which means you can use Trinity support. Insanely strong support, just a lot of damage. So this is for Trinity setup. You need Hero of Ash and Hatred to get this setup going on. If you don't have Hero of Ash and Hatred, you will not be balancing the damage, right? Steel Skin, no, I'm sorry. Blood and Sand, normally I just leave it at Sand Stance for AoE. I don't really care about a little bit of damage, but if you really want more damage, switch to Bloodstand, right? You can put it in a slot here, and if you really want serious damage, just press the button, change to Bloodstand, and you have more damage, but a little bit less AoE. And aspect of the Avian. So depending on what you choose, this one, I choose the Avian. You can choose the Cat as well. The Cat is going to give you either more damage or some chance to avoid taking damage. You can have the Cat, right? If you, oh, by the way, this is not just a 12% chance to double damage and 14% movement speed. It is triple because I have 200% effect of the aspect of Avian. So yeah, that is everything. I think I will try to upgrade this character first. And then when I reach a higher level and I kind of decked out with the gear, upgrade with the gear, I will try different setup with the deck stacking, because we can have the deck stacking weapon with the bow. We can have a like hybrid cast on crit bow setup with like cold spell or any kind of spell. You can have a cast on crit bow with damage on dexterity, and then the rest of the stuff can be like hybrid, or you can have the claw or any one-handed weapon with the mode of cold damage per dexterity. So I'll try that one out, but normally, right, that is not as much damage as Hollow Palm. Hollow Palm is giving me 14 to 20 attack per 10 dexterity. That is an average of 17 damage per dexterity. If we are using any other dex stacking method, it is giving on average 3. If you use a bow, you can use Poise Prism, which is the quiver that I use to pair with the Null's Inclination. Null Inclination is here. No, actually, Null's Inclination is here, right? So I tried to use this bow. I failed to make it relevant. I also tried out a little bit Iron Commander. It actually is kind of fun, but it gets old very quickly. So you can, I could have summoned 12 Ballista, 12. They deals a lot of damage. It actually deals quite a lot of damage. I used it on a 1 link and they already destroyed tier 16 Guardian. But I don't like the totem playstyle, so I don't play with it. So this is just a template. You kind of can use this skill tree for almost all the deck stacking with this class. You can obviously with each build you can edit and tweak it a little bit. For example, the totem stuff, you should have watchtower, which is right here. You should probably anoint the surveillance. You don't need to take all the 5 points here, but you can. And then also the totem stuff, I try to grab these 3 notes for the placement speed. And it feels okay. For mapping, it feels very nice. The Siege Ballista is piercing 10 enemies, so pretty much no limit. And it shoots 4 projectiles by default, because I was having 1 additional here, 1 additional here, and 1 on the bow. Corruption. So, yeah. I think this video is long enough. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I ramble way too much.